With the U.S. military operation in the Caribbean, U.S. forces seizing an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. Attorney General Pam Bondi shared this video of the operation. The vessel faced sanctions for several years for alleged terror links. Venezuela's government claims this is, quote, an act of international piracy. President Trump confirmed its seizure last night.
We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, large tanker, very large. It was seized for a very good reason. Well, I assume we're going to keep the oil.
All right, for more on this, I want to bring in CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata. Charlie, you've done a lot of reporting on this. I watched your piece this morning on our show. Bring us up to speed.
Okay, well, it was a military operation and a multi-agency operation. So we had the FBI involved, Department of Homeland Security, but most importantly, and you've seen those pictures, I mean, this sort of brazen interdiction, it involved maritime security response teams, and that's essentially Coast Guard Special Forces, but they made their way there with the help of U.S. Marines from the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft. So this is very much a military operation, and you can see with the assets that they have there, it was done, officials tell us, without incident is how they explain it. That means nobody was injured. You can't even see any of the crew on that ship from that video. So it's definitely an escalation. The United States has piled pressure on the Maduro regime with sanctions and with a bounty on his head, $50 million for information leading to his arrest. Obviously, dozens of boat strikes, but this really is next level.
Wow. So after confirming this operation, the president claimed that there are other things happening, too. At what point does this become a full-on military operation with perhaps boots on the ground with Venezuela that Congress, as far as I can tell, has yet, I mean, they've commented on it, but they haven't at all passed anything in the House that would indicate that this is okay.
Right, and some senators have already criticized the interdiction and the seizure of this tanker, saying we're sleepwalking into a war with Venezuela. And as a matter of fact, before the story broke about the tanker, we were already working on changes that we've seen in that region. We've seen Marines landing on the beach in Puerto Rico in the past couple of days, F-18 fighter jets, and they're squadrons of them, 4 squadrons of them on the USS Gerald R. Ford. But now we've seen them pop up in Puerto Rico at Roosevelt Road. So there were the F-35s that were already there, and now you get the F-18s. A couple of days ago, we reported that F-18s had kind of skirted a little bit closer than they ever have before in the Gulf of Venezuela. So all of this, when you put all of these things together, it's just ratcheting up the pressure. And as I've said before, I know it sounds alarmist, but I'm being factual here. When I say that the United States is preparing for war, that's what the United States does. And from the package, the strike package that is in place in the region, that is exactly what they're prepared for.
Yeah, and look, I think that you've covered this for many years. In other words, the Pentagon. People should know that the United States in the past has seized oil tankers, right? They've seized Iranian oil tankers. It's not uncommon, but it just sort of feels that there is a concerted effort to either goad or to attempt something that draws the Venezuelans into a larger conflict.
Exactly that. And I think we need to point out here that although the United States has got sanctions against Venezuela, they're still pumping out like 900,000 barrels a day. And it went after the tanker, not the oil. That's kind of specific.
Yeah, very specific indeed. All right, Charlie, thank you very much. We're going to check in with you in our next hour. We appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, let's bring in CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand, who's tracking all of this at the White House for us. So, Natalie, what is the White House saying as to a strategy here?
Yeah, well, officially, the White House isn't saying much other than to confirm, this latest operation. This is a new tactic in this ongoing pressure campaign that you were just talking with Charlie about, and a new tactic, economic pressure, going after an oil tanker and one of Venezuela's largest sources of revenue. Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi, in a statement, talked about how this vessel that was seized had been sanctioned for a number of years by the U.S. government, alleging that it's been involved in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. AG Bondi, in this post on X, also said that the investigation into preventing the transport of sanctioned oil will continue, and sources tell CBS News that the administration could be considering additional seizures. Vlad.
All right, and you know this, the U.S. has been ramping up this pressure on Venezuela and its leader, Nicolás Maduro, for months. And so, of course, the question becomes, is this an all-out effort to oust Maduro?
And the president has been asked this a number of times by a number of reporters, and he's not revealed the long-term strategy here. Neither have White House officials. But what we do know is that this administration does not view the Maduro regime as legitimate, along with a number of international leaders pointing to the past disputed election. But the Trump administration has also alleged that Maduro is aligned with narco-terrorists. He has been charged, for that reason in the United States. And he even, the president told CBS News and Norah O'Donnell that he believes Maduro's days as president are numbered. He repeated something similar in a new interview this week with Politico. Take a listen.
You want to see him out?
His days are numbered.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it.
Now, the president in this interview said that he doesn't want to talk about military strategy, but also said that land strikes could happen soon. That's something he said a number of times as well, Vlad.
Yeah. All right. Natalie Brand for us at the White House. Natalie, thank you.